Well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments asking, genuine question, why don't you quit your W-2 job? It seems like you are in a financial position to do so. Maybe having more time to focus on real estate or find a different business venture that makes you excited could help. So this is in response to my video where I talked about how I achieved my net worth goal and now that I'm bored. So despite a $6.2 million net worth, despite a real estate portfolio that cash flows on average $10,000 a month, I still work a full-time W-2 job, and this is the reason why. So for me, going back to my journey, I actually got laid off as a pharmacy manager back in 2021 or 2022, early 2022, and this was really shocking to me, right? I poured everything I did into my pharmacy career. At that point, I had about 4 or 5 single family homes, and I was looking transitioning into multifamily real estate. So during the heart of COVID, the hospital didn't do so well because people stopped going to the emergency room, people stopped getting simple procedures done or delayed, and that's how hospitals make money. So I worked for a for-profit hospital, and because of the lower ER visits, because of no elective surgeries, the revenue went down and they laid off about 10% of the hospital, and about 6 employees in the pharmacy department got laid off, myself included. So at that point, my identity was shattered. I poured a lot of myself into pharmacy. Like I said, I owned about 4 single family homes at the time. I think I was about to close on my 5th. And, it was very shocking when I got laid off, and, that's when I was like, you know what, I hate my W-2 and I want to dive into real estate headfirst and pursue business. And that's when I was really into the FIRE movement. So I was laid off at, I think, 31 years old, and I set a goal of having $20,000 a month in passive income by the time I was 35. I just arbitrarily picked $20,000 a month because I thought it was a lot of money for some reason. There was no rhyme or reason why I chose that. And, that's when I joined a real estate mentorship to learn about apartment complexes. And shortly after that, I bought my 26-unit apartment complex. I bought my mobile home park. I bought my 20-unit apartment complex. Fast forward today, the 26-unit apartment's doing well, cash flowing $8,000 a month roughly. My mobile home park I sold for a loss. My 20-unit cash flows about maybe $1,500 a month right now because I refinanced during a higher interest rate. I started a independent pharmacy, which I lost $30,000 on. I started an Amazon drop shipping store based on a popular YouTuber, which obviously I lost about $35,000 on that. And what else? Started, I think, kind of creating content, right? So that's when I kind of started my channel about 2.5 years ago. So for me, I went headfirst into financial freedom, business, because I realized that W-2 wasn't going to allow me freedom. W-2 has a ceiling. W-2, it's a guaranteed paycheck, right? And you get health benefits, you get PTO, you get sick leave, so you get all these benefits. But from I think 2021 all the way up to 2023, I was on this death march to financial independence, and I really had a disdain towards W-2 because I felt like it was underutilizing my skills, it was capping my potential, and going through all that. And obviously this is a reaction because I poured so much in my career. I got laid off and it shattered my identity as a pharmacist. So this was kind of overcompensating by going to the other side of doubling down in real estate, which I bought 80 units in 8 months. I did 2 separate businesses or started 3 businesses, 2 of which failed. My YouTube business, coaching business is still going, but it's slow and steady. To be honest, it's a long-term grind. And it was just really interesting to see. So as I owned real estate, so 2023, I would say it's a huge turning point for me again, where, from 2021, so I'd say 2013 all the way to 2021 until I got laid off, or 2022, I basically was so focused on W-2. The moment I got laid off in 2022, from 2022 all the way to, I would say, to 2023, That's when I was def march into financial independence, retirement, buying real estate, businesses, didn't like my W-2 despite having some. And then from 2023 to present day, I've actually grown to appreciate my W-2 more despite having a $6.2 million net worth, despite owning 52 units that cash flow $10,000 a month, because I went through that whole grind and that whole journey. And what I learned was when you're doing real estate, the income is not as consistent and not as stable, right? W-2, you know exactly every 2 weeks, I'm getting X amount of dollars every month on like this second Wednesday of the month, and you know exactly what time enters your bank account, right? You get your health benefits. But when you're on your own, like in real estate, like the money isn't guaranteed. Yes, I can cash flow $10,000 a month on average, but some months I might cash flow $5,000 a month, but the next month I might cash flow $15,000 a month. It just really depends on what repairs and expenses I have. If I have a new roof, if there's new plumbing, if I have evictions, if tenants stop paying, if I have to renovate a unit, if I have to replace the roof, that's when it eats into your cash flow, right? So yes, I do cash flow on average $10,000 a month, but really you need additional income streams coming in to help supplement your real estate if needed. Maybe there's a month where I'm negative $5,000 a month, right? How do I cover that? I need either to have reserves or I need to have consistent W-2 income coming in, right? And what I learned too was like I busted my butt off for 2 years in my mobile home park, and I sold that for a $100,000 loss, right? And from your W-2, you can put in bare minimum effort in a W-2, and you're guaranteed money every 2 weeks. And that's the downside of W-2 job, right? Is that people get very complacent because they know they're gonna get the same paycheck. They're not gonna get fired. They know what they can get away with, right? So like that's the downside of the W-2, but it's security, but you're capped and you're dealing with office politics. So as I've scaled my net worth, as I've scaled my real estate, as I scaled businesses, I realize how nice it is to have a consistent W-2 paycheck, health benefits, and PTO, right? So the more I've built into entrepreneurship, the more I've appreciated my W-2 life, and the more it kind of changed my mindset a little bit. So my identity isn't as much W-2, and it's not as much entrepreneurship. It's now balancing the two, right? So now I can balance the two where I can work my W-2 while juggling my real estate portfolio while creating content, right? And then eventually over time, as I own real estate longer, rents will go up gradually. My loan will stay the same, right? Unless I pull out more money in my apartments. And my reserves will build up, right? Because I'm still saving money to invest more. I want to buy more real estate. It's easy to buy real estate with a W-2 job because you have consistent income, which banks like, and you can build up a reserve. And I can supplement if my real estate makes money and then I make money, I can save up faster for the next down payment to buy another piece of real estate. So there's that advantage of it. So I really appreciate it even more because, like you said, it's so humbling when you work your butt off for 2 years and you lose $100,000. Imagine working a job that you hate and you have to pay them $100,000 at the end. That's entrepreneurship, right? People don't realize that. So yes, that's why W-2 is called the golden handcuffs. And eventually I will let go of the golden handcuffs when I build up a business that makes enough money to replace my W-2, right? Like I realized that living off real estate income is more stressful than it is just to work a W-2. So once I learned that and realized that and felt it, I said, you know what, it's not worth it. I'd rather just work my W-2, still build up my real estate portfolio because I've done it before. And I can save up more down payments because I'm making money from my real estate. I'm making money for myself. So I could use it to buy more real estate, or I could use it to pay off some of my loans faster. And I can leverage this time when I have a W-2 to do refinances, right? If interest rates drop again to 5%, hopefully in the next year or two, I can refinance my primary residence. I can refinance my 20-unit apartment complex. I can cash out refinance my 26-unit apartment complex, pull out my capital to buy more real estate. So I'm just waiting for that moment, right? And you get benefits too of working a W-2. And like you said, right now it's my main source of income, right? It's not for everyone, but I have a high income W-2. So, it's still feeding me today and investing for the future. But at the point where, to your point, I could literally stop right now, right? I can quit my W-2 today and sell some of my real estate and use that money to pay off my primary residence, pay off the mortgage, which would save me $5,500 a month, making my total cost for just property tax, insurance, HOA, utilities, $2,000 a month, which is not much, right? And I can sell another property and then just sit on like $400,000. And at that point, I don't have to work a single day in my life. But I know that that wouldn't be very fulfilling, right? Because I like to create constraints on myself. So like I am able to work a W-2, build a business through, YouTube, as well as still manage my 52 unit real estate portfolio and still balancing, work life, right? It's like I like to create constraints because it pushes me to get better, to get more efficient, and to take action. So for me, I'm just waiting patiently for this YouTube mentorship to blow up, right? Because I don't know how it's going to be. It may never blow up, but it may be bigger than what it is today if I'm consistent. That's guaranteed. So because I'm not like desperate for like, YouTube to like pay my bills, like it gives me a different peace of mind and a different purpose in terms of creating content. I'm not doing it, I'm just doing it to share my knowledge. I'm not necessarily doing it for the money. Like YouTube pays me $100 a month. I make that in an hour in my W-2, right? I make more than that in my real estate. So for me, it's just kind of like a way to push myself, to learn, to challenge, and to communicate. And if YouTube does blow up, because it has the potential to, right? Because YouTube is ultimate leverage. I, create a bunch of videos and people are watching them, even though I made them like 5 years ago. So it has a massive amount of leverage and massive amount of scale. And I may get there where it surpasses my W-2, it surpasses my real estate. Great. If that's the case, then I'm going to use the money from this to go buy more real estate, right? And then I can travel to my units and then create more content around that. So it's like kind of like this infinite loop. But until I'm there yet, until I have another source of income that's consistent, I don't feel comfortable yet stepping away from my W-2. I hit a point in my W-2 where, you're kind of on autopilot. Like you just can do your job and you don't really have to stress as much. You're kind of know what to do, you know what to expect, and there might be that 20% which is brand new, and office politics is still annoying. Managing people, it's annoying, but all this is teaching me skills that will help me better manage my businesses in the future. So, and also you're building connections. If I want to have private money lenders, if I want to become a real estate broker, like these are my contacts that I would use to, take me to that next level. So anyways, that's why I don't quit my W-2 yet. My priorities will probably change significantly once I have kids and a family. Maybe I will transition towards a job where maybe I'm like hybrid remote, where I have more flexibility to, be at home a few days and go to work a few days, even though if it pays less. And hopefully my businesses can build up as my W-2 goes down, and eventually my business will take over and then my W-2 will kind of wean off. That's kind of the ultimate end goal. But to me, I like to learn. I like to challenge myself, and for me, I'm playing with house money at this point because, like you said, I could literally just sell everything and dump everything in index funds, have a paid off house, and live off that 4% rule, and I'm done. But to me, that's not really. I would be bored, to be honest. Like I'd probably travel for like 6 months. Now I know I'll be bored after that, right? Because you can only travel for so long without needing a break. So for me, I'm like, how can I travel now? How can I work a W-2 now? How can I build a business now? How can I manage real estate now? How can I start a fund now and balance all that? So it's just really mindset and prioritization. So it is possible, right? So that's why I'm trying to create the constraints of like my next net worth goal is about $50 million by 45. And I want to do that while not being super stressed. So that's my constraint I set myself. Like, how can I get this goal? I don't need to chase this number, right? So there's no pressure, no stress. But how can I get there without being stressed? And for me, it's going to be, buying more real estate. It's going to be buying more single-family homes, buying more apartment complexes, continue to create content and documenting my journey, right? And then slowly improving this content because social media has infinite leverage and has infinite scalability, and I can blow up. Who knows? Or maybe never. It's fine, right? Like you said, so for me, I'm just more focused on like, what can I do every day that challenges me and pushes myself? I think 'cause that's really what it is. Like, it's really the fulfillment. It's what's pushing myself. What constraints am I setting myself to make harder when people say it's impossible to build a $50 million net worth without being stressed? Well, I want to try to prove that wrong. I want to build a $50 million net worth without being stressed at all. And I want to document that journey. So that's why I don't quit my W-2 yet. They said the two most addictive things in the world are heroin and your W-2 paycheck, right? Because that paycheck every 2 weeks, and I've had that my whole life. I'll admit I had that for 11 years, and if you take it away, it feels a little bit weird, right? Even though I have a large nest egg, psychologically, it's a weird thing. So anyways, hopefully you found value from this video. Hopefully you figure out why I haven't left my W-2 yet. Like I said, my priorities might change significantly once I have kids and family. At that point, I may pivot and make a decision, right, based on my new priorities. But right now, it makes sense for me to work W-2. If you want to learn how to buy some multifamily real estate to make work optional, like myself, then consider the mentorship program down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.